Welcome in. We're going to dive in. What are you looking for? We're going to just drop into that mindset. Thank you for coming. We're just going to contemplate and dive into the energy to see what you're looking for. I know that's an interesting question, and curiosity is all over the place, but we often don't have a direct line of what we're actually trying to pull in. So the first card I'm going to pull is an affirmation card. I just want to see what Spirit has to tell you that maybe you're not seeing. My wealth compounds exponentially daily. Okay. And so that would tell me that you're learning financials right now and you are looking to compound your wealth. So you may be looking to stocks, you might be looking to, and compounding is also long-term commitment to something. That's how you compound. Maybe you're learning what compounding is. So I would say that that'd be something, maybe a financial course or class. Looks like it's in the works for you. Maybe you've been putting that off. Maybe you've been hesitating about that. Let's just see. We'll dive a little bit deeper. The temple, the sword, and the desert. Okay, so I've got a 3-card pull here, and I'm looking at the temple. What is the temple? The temple is you are creating this sacred kingdom, this sacred space. And the sword is cutting through all of the truths. It's like you have super targeted energy here, and you really are clearing out. Like when the sword shows up, that means you're not messing around. Like you are slicing the cake perfectly. And it's leading you to kind of an emptiness, right? Like when you start cutting ties or cutting cords or releasing attachments, when you start moving in new directions or shifting timelines, it's easy to feel empty because you're creating a lot of space. Because you're creating sacred space. And sacred space cannot have clutter. And the consistency, perseverance, persistence, all of that is required here. You might want to begin to experience a sense of comfort inside. Now, I don't know if you'll begin to notice that comfort growing all by itself, or if you'll discover that you're beginning to go into deeper states. Faintly at first, and then you start going deeper and deeper all the time. So allow yourself to notice that the deeper states are beginning to develop now, so that you can create a connection to your devotion, your creator, whatever it is that you connect to. Because I feel like I'm looking at a potential yoga teacher or somebody that does meditation. You seem very high frequency. The space is so very clear. Like I feel like everything is very clear. And if you're here for confirmation, I just want to know who I'm talking to. Okay, so you're a seer. That means that you have foresight. You're present, which I can see that. You cut through the truth. What are you looking for? You're looking for tranquility. You're looking for space. You're looking for see beyond the current situation. See beyond the current situation. Okay, so we just need to add some layers to this. We're going to go ahead and add some layers. I'm going to use the Rider-Waite deck. Although I don't know if this is the right deck, but I'm going to pull a card and see. I feel like this might be too much chaos. Like you're trying to find, and see, look at that. You are a master at what you do. You are a master at your trade. She's blindfolded, aware, ready, still, comfortable, complete. Intuition is heightened. I don't know if you've seen Avatar, but there's a blind girl on there, and she can, her instincts are heightened because she's blind, and she's an earthbender. And by the end of the last episode, you find out that she also moves metal, steel, and she's the first to do that. So you may be the first stepping into this sort of, that word sort of keeps coming through. I just want to eradicate that word. There's no sort of. We don't want to work with sort of energy here. We want to work with concrete ideas. Concrete ideas. So I'm going to pull from this deck. The acceptance of limitation is the first step to transcendence. That makes sense. I mean, look at this. I've got the temple here. I've got the sword of truth, and then the desert. It's like you yourself have created limitations, but okay, so yeah, your higher supraconscious is always preparing the path for you. If you don't get the thing you thought you were supposed to have, you weren't supposed to have that. That's just part of the path. Just know that everything you thought you were supposed to think, what you think the opposite, and what you think the opposite of that. So you just don't even know. But one beautiful perspective is acceptance, knowing that spirit is actually guiding you. You are vibrating at compounding exponential wealth daily. That's something that you're focused on. Don't stay single-minded. Know that what you're looking for is opportune and available. It's just a matter of getting into that alignment. So the acceptance of limitation is the first step to transcendence. Acceptance. It is the space between where mutation takes place. Mutation is released in limited amounts. The pulsing pressure to mutate. It's like you're like in it, like you're like almost like it's almost like you feel stuck, but you're not stuck. That's just where spirit has put you. It's spirit's sort of like blocked you in. So right, it's like you're blocked in, and you're like blind, but your intuition is heightened, and you're aware, and you can see you're this seer. But as a seer, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. That's what I'm hearing. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. And so spirit is leading you to this. So we've got rigidity, leadership, resourcefulness, conservationism, decisiveness, and acceptance. And so you're being sort of blocked in to learn some skills and to open up your creative flow. We flow more creatively when we feel safe, and we're sort of contained into an environment. That is the time when you're most creative, is when you don't have certain things and you have to create from a different place. And when we're contained in that area, bigger and better things come through the door. I was listening to this one video. There were two companies and one of them was allowed so much creativity. They didn't block any creativity. They were like, you just be creative, do whatever you think. And then the other company had sort of a framework of creativity. Like in the meeting, they could only bring 3 ideas and only leave with 1 idea. Once they picked that idea, they had tasks that they had to merge with that idea. And in the other company, they were allowed to have any ideas. And so nothing was getting done because everybody just kept coming up with new ideas. There was no containment, there was no target, there was no focus. And some of them were spending so much time on one task because they didn't have the foresight to see all the other tasks that went into the thing that they were doing. So it's important that and I remember being blocked in. I remember feeling like I couldn't move, just energetically. And my creativity started to explode because I wasn't able to get to the same things that I was able to get to. And it's so weird. Metaphorically, it's just doesn't make any sense, but that's how it works. It's cool. I think it's cool. Once you get on the other side of it, super, super awesome. Okay, so push and pull love. So I have this deck here, and what are you looking for? Remember, that's the question we're asking here. What are you looking for? And there's so much blindness. Like, look, her eyes are covered. Her eyes are covered. Whether you're masculine or feminine, doesn't make a difference. One in the same, merged. And then we've got a temple with the sword in the desert. Still more energy, more clearance, limitation. So you are feeling limited because you are compounding. If you keep trying to think of new ways, new ideas, then you can't compound. It's like when you have a job, when you first get a job, you're working up, and then you stop, and you go get a new job, and then you have to work up, stop, and you get a new job, right? It's just this endless cycle of getting to a point and then quitting, getting to a point and quitting. So Spirit has literally blocked you in. It's asking you to really experience a sense of comfort because you're doing great. There's no place for you to go. You're not in a hurry. You're not trying to get anywhere. This is how Spirit pulls you away from resistance and says, listen, nothing you do is going to work. You might as well bask in gratitude for where you are, right? And so, okay, we're going to go ahead and pull, push and pull. Push and pull. So this is love. Maybe you're looking for love. Maybe we need to know a little bit more about this relationship. What brings you guys together? Okay. What brings you together? Passion. That was a great first card. What brings you together? Passion. Okay. What pulls you apart? Happiness. What needs your attention? Protection. See, I feel like there's a lack of value, intention, boundaries, because what brought you together was this intense passion, right? And we're working with push and pull. And so this happiness is very creative, triggering. Happy people are very triggered, suppressed potentially. And then it says, what needs your attention? And that's exactly what is coming through is protection. Like you gotta have those boundaries, you gotta have those barriers. I want to go a little bit deeper. So passion, we're going to look more into the happiness because that's an interesting idea. That's a new angle. God speaks. That's the second time today I pulled that card. And I pulled it for the other love reading. So you might want to check out that reading because that was intense. So God speaks. I'm going to have to read it. I'm going to have to read it to you. It's also the number 33, if that resonates with you. Okay. The divine is speaking to you directly. Underneath the silence, there is an endless music of love pulsating throughout the universe. Within that sacred sound, there is guidance. It may or may not have words. It might be a feeling in your heart that you can only access when you are still, relaxed, dancing in a yoga practice, or even half asleep. Do you see, like, no movement? It assures you that behind any struggle or challenge, there is only ever the divine seeking you out, calling you to surrender some fear or doubt or other so you can move closer. Trust in the sound of love beyond anything else. For in truth, no matter what may appear to be, there is nothing else. Oh my gosh, that's so true. So this oracle brings guidance. You are being loved into becoming. Be open to being shown the divine genius in all that is happening. If you feel you are being nudged, know you are being nudged by the divine. If you feel you are being held back, see, I've done that. That's a new enlightened idea here. If you feel like you're being held back, know you are being held back by the divine. What? All is happening perfectly for you, and all will unfold in divine timing. The divine is speaking to you when you are captivated by the beauty of nature or an illogical sense that everything is okay. Listen. That's the divine talking to you, reassuring you that all is unfolding according to spiritual law in perfect cooperation with your own destiny. Yeah, this is so neat when the energy lines up so beautifully and the answer is so clear, right? I'm sitting here and I'm lost and I'm not feeling like I know, and then all of a sudden all this comes out and I'm like, yes, yes, yes. So there is a deep alchemization going on here, and Spirit is asking you to trust this situation because it's there for a reason. I'm going to read the poem. When the first sound was born, the air was filled with fantasy, like the flower's sweet perfume. Alive in the moment, there was nothing else, only the energy coursing through my body and the tears on my cheeks. I was carried away on the strings, each note striking a chord within and answering with the emotions of my soul. How priceless the surprise, how powerful the memory to be with the violin when it sings. It's like there's two of you, right? And you guys are, it's like when they did this, they did sound and they hit one sound, and that sound was at the vibrational frequency of the one across the room, and then they both start vibrating at the same time. So that's what I feel is happening here. So what are you looking for? Is looking for you. That which you seek seeks you. That which you seek seeks you. That which you seek seeks you. That just rolls off my tongue. God is speaking. Look at that. You are a seer, asking you to see, but you don't see with your eyes open. You can't see with your eyes open. You have to close your eyes. Like maybe put a blindfold on, sit in silence, see if anything comes through in there. Okay, I do want to look at this. Happiness, faith, isolation. What pulls you apart? Nothing. I'm telling you, nothing. Oh, okay, so we've got some guilt here. Okay, that gives us something to work with, something tangible. So I would say that because the truth card is here, and then what pulls you apart, we have this right here. So, and I feel like this truth is going to set you free. So I feel like that is what's pulling you guys apart, is somebody's not being transparent. So I would pray, I would have faith and pray that that transparency starts to come in. And we've got isolation and guilt. It's like if somebody's overly happy or too ambiguous or doesn't take you seriously, that can easily be interpreted through this isolation and guilt. Oh my gosh, I just pulled faith again. I feel like Spirit is like, don't worry about any of that. Just have faith. And make sure that you create some sort of framework or some sort of boundary. That's really important in a relationship, and the reciprocity, the compounding of reciprocity. Again, going back to compounding, you got to have the reciprocity. If I send you a message, I get a message back. If I do this, you do this back. And you'll know it's a discernment. It's not like if I give you water, you bring me water, or if I do this, you do that. I'm not doing it because I want something, but I do have to make sure that there's reciprocity, because if you love to serve, if you love to give, if you love all of that, you can overextend yourself and you can be the only one holding it up on your shoulders. So you want to make sure that you are asking for what you want within this relationship, because that's what it says. What needs your attention? Protection. You have to be treated with your value. But there's a lot of passion in this connection. A lot of passion. But there's tons of restriction right now, because Spirit is divinely guiding you and also asking you to observe the divine timing. When you're ready, you're ready. And what's meant for you will be for you, no matter what. So, okay. It's an absolute honor to be here. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you could give me a thumbs up, I would love that. And if this resonated with you, maybe share the video with those who need to hear this. And definitely subscribe. I will see you in the next